here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is going to be the weekly intuitive astrology reading for August 12th to the 18th. I've got a cat here. Hold on a second. There he goes. Sorry I'm a little bit late. And it is what it is. I just needed a little extra time to ground. And just a little disclaimer too as we get into this. I'm in a weird mix of highly fatigued and activated. Okay, so just just putting that out there if I need to move a little slow, but this is this is a week. This is a week. We're gearing up to the full moon Aquarius. We have a lot of transits that are happening this week, and I'm going to be going over, I mean, obviously everything that I feel like you guys need to know, but just little interesting tidbits that will coincide with the full moon Aquarius. I will also be going live to talk about the full moon on Patreon. What was the day I selected? I think I selected Saturday on my calendar at 2 p.m. Pacific. I know that that's the time for sure, but I think the day is Saturday Pacific time. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. I haven't posted it on Patreon yet, but that is the day that I intend to do it on. Any other announcements? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just really eager to get into this, guys. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing really good today. Hello, hello. Yay, yay, yay. Hi, Sarah, Stacy. So happy to catch a live. Life has been so joyous lately. Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that. Oh, that's cute. You guys were just like hanging out and talking with each other. You guys were waiting for me. Hey, guys. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. Where do I want to start with this? Actually, you know what? I want to start on important transits that we have going on this week, starting with today in particular. Okay, so this week, like I said, we have a lot. Today is actually the quarter moon in Scorpio. I don't know if y'all were feeling that, me being a Scorpio. I've been feeling that. The cool thing about this quarter moon though, I know I don't normally talk about quarter moons, but with this quarter moon being in Scorpio, it's actually going to help us a lot with getting used, oh my God, my voice. With getting used to Pallas Athena Scorpio energy being activated this week, as well as it coinciding with the full moon Aquarius. The Pallas Athena Scorpio energy is actually what is helping to solidify that grand fixed cross that I keep talking about for August 19th, which is literally like next week, Monday of next week. So just know that whatever you're feeling today, whatever you're navigating today, maybe, oh, really? Okay. Maybe giving you some insights into how Pallas Athena could actually help you during this time, and even just, technically for the next couple of weeks, since it's going to be part of the full moon energy. Okay. Now on the 14th, Mercury will move back into Leo while it is retrograding, and you guys will definitely feel that. I feel like when Mercury, oh my God, my voice. While Mercury has been in Virgo, I think it has been helping everybody to get a little bit more focused on like practical matters and planning and logistics and things like that. And I actually think a lot of people have been having an easier time staying adaptable, which is great because that was part of the whole lesson of Mercury in retrograde, the adaptability of things. But with it moving back into Leo, I feel like we might lose a little bit of that, like ease with it. But anyway, that's just what I'm feeling intuitively. There's going to be a lot more in realms of like, do I express this? Do I not express this? Do I take the lead here? Do I not take the lead here? Do I share this? Do I not share this? And we'll get into that too, because there's other stuff that's supporting that as well. Words. Fatigue, activation, and retrograde. That's what that looks like. On that same day, Mars will also be exactly conjunct Jupiter in Gemini, which is a really nice energy, but it's interesting what is happening with Gemini, because Gemini with Jupiter and with Mars feels really, really good, but it's creating a lot of squares with all the Virgo energies and also the Piscean energy of Saturn. And it's like, not that we can't enjoy the Gemini energy. There's just other things that I want to be careful with my words here. They're taking precedence. I'll say it that way. They're taking precedence this week, and we're probably going to feel that with the full moon too. But again, we'll talk about it. On the 15th of August, the sun will be exactly trine Chiron, which is actually a good thing. That's actually a really nice thing. But on that same day, Mars will also be exactly square Saturn. which is funky. Um, all of that Leo Aries energy that we're going to be experiencing between the Sun and Vesta and Chiron and Eris is really, really nice. It's really helping us to move from any sort of like wounded sort of aspects of self to very empowered sort of versions of self, you could say, especially in terms of leadership and expression. And is it okay to share this? And is it not okay to share this, or to say this, or to show that I can do this, or show that this is something I have passion for, etc. Right? Anyone else exhausted? Yes. Yes. I haven't slept the last couple of nights. Last night in particular was pretty bad. I don't think I slept until 7 this morning. And then I forced myself to get up at like maybe 9. No, maybe it was a little later than that. No, maybe it was 9. I don't even remember now. I'm tired. Anyway, and then on the 16th, Neptune will be sextile Pluto stationary, meaning they're not going to be exact, but they're going to be the closest that they will get to each other, right? While they're in their current cycles. So that's also something kind of nice to look forward to. We've been working with Uranus sextile Neptune, Neptile. Oh my God, we've been working with Uranus sextile Neptune, Neptune sextile Pluto, and not yet. Oh my God, words. And Uranus trine Pluto. Oh, Lord have mercy. We've been working with those for a long time, months. So I'm not really going to talk about them, just to let you know. Yeah, there are more long-term aspects that, again, we've just been experiencing. That's been more like global collective, I would say, as far as being able to see just like changes that are needed on a bigger scale that could really benefit everyone and not just the self. And also there's innovation tied into that too, but really shifting in structures and community dynamics, which is amazing. However, you've been experiencing that in your reality. But again, I'm not going to go into those too deeply because I don't want to talk about them every week. But that's what's happening transit-wise this week, okay? That being said, let's get into the overview. So I read my notes. Okay, so this overview, you already know what the title is if you were coming in here. I might change it depending on what else comes through during the reading, but as it's live, you already know what the title is. So to paraphrase kind of what's going on with this week, it's kind of like a balancing act of all things. And even when I was speaking on the full moon Aquarius with that grand fixed cross, a grand fixed cross happens when you have like all of one modality essentially activated. So it's like all the fixed signs, all the mutable, all the cardinal, right? But they're in all the different elements. So it's essentially like, how can you balance all of the elements in that particular modality? That's the challenge of a grand fixed cross, and we're getting prepared for it this week. So that's the balancing act that I'm referring to. It's really balancing the emotional, the physical, the mental, the spiritual. There's also going to be a bit of a challenge, not in a way that's going to be like, oh my God, this is so hard, but there's going to be external factors. I would actually even say internal pressures, a lot of Uranus energy there too, like really challenging us to see things clearly, no matter how beautiful or startling what it is that we're seeing. That's also part of what's coming up this week too. Now, Uranus and Pallas Athena are playing really important roles, not just with the full moon, but also with this week. Uranus is a change agent, but with the aspects that it's creating, which we will get into, there's a demand for change, demand for needed change, whether you see what's needed or not. So that could be change that suddenly comes about and sneaks up on you, or that could be change that you just get stirred up within you emotionally and you're like, I need to go and change this. I need to act on this. It's a very demanding, persistent, agitating kind of energy coming from Uranus this week, okay? It can create a little bit of anxiety and uncertainty, especially on the full moon. Because on the full moon, the sun will be the sun will be exactly square Uranus. I'm gonna say that again. On the day of the full moon, August 19th, the sun will be exactly square Uranus. Sun being in Leo, Uranus being in Taurus. That aspect in particular creates a sense of uncertainty, a sense of something is impending, something is happening, whether it is or it isn't, right? But most likely it is just because of everything else we got going on. And some of us might initiate that. Again, some of us might be just have it be thrust upon us. So if you're starting to feel really anxious or just really doubtful or just like, wait, or insecure, I guess is the better word for that. This is why it's so important to hold center this week. Okay. So, so important. And in holding center, it's also that observer state that I keep talking about, which we will get into. That is going to help you tremendously this week. Okay. Oh, destruction. That's right. Another energy that's coming out of Uranus, potentially for some of us, just depends on how it's manifesting in your life and how you're navigating these energies. Because as you guys know with astrology, like I always say, it's a mixture or matter of free will, your personal charts, and your own belief systems, right? So just mentioning that. But Uranus can create this need to destroy something. And because of some other aspects that are at play, it could actually be a distraction for some people. Other people are going to need to balance that need to destroy something with other things, and some people need to recognize it's just a distraction. Okay, but that's individual, so that's something that you need to rely on your own discernment for. Okay, now Pallas Athena being in Scorpio, again, this is major because Pallas Athena being in Scorpio at the degrees that it's at this week and on the full moon is what is solidifying the grand fixed cross energy. So it's almost coming in to really initiate this challenge of the balance as well. With Pallas Athena being in Scorpio, for those who are not familiar with Pallas Athena is kind of Libran. Pallas Athena rules wisdom and harmony, wanting to provide solutions, resolutions, right? Think Athena. It also sometimes is associated with like tactile war, strategic stuff, but not always. It really is dependent on multiple things. But with it being in Scorpio, and mostly this is just what was coming through channel wise when I tuned into that, to approach situations and conflicts and problems from a perspective of keeping a clear vision and checks and balances of all things on a level of our own psyche and shadows and emotions. So let me say that a way that's not so convoluted. Making sure that we are keeping ourselves in a clear view of our ego and our shadow, that we're keeping ourselves in check, but also that we have our eyes and ears on of the egos and shadows of other people. Okay, that's huge. That was coming through really strongly. Discerning of what is beneficial to show, express, or share, and what is best not to. Because we do have a lot of this Leo energy that's encouraging us to just like go and shine out in the light for all people to see. But Pallas Athena Scorpio goes, hold up, wait a minute. You might not want to do it to the nth degree. You might want to be aware of your audience. You might want to be aware of like your true intentions and motivations here. You might want to be aware of where your ego and shadows are and where other people's intentions are. Like Pallas Athena Scorpio is just helping us to keep perspective, but it's from like the eyes of Scorpio. That was something they were emphasizing a lot, like the eyes of Scorpio. And I got owl, eagle, wolf was coming up. A wolf is very collective for a lot of people right now. So just keep that Scorpio discernment on, and that's also going to help with the observer state. If you're new and you have no idea what I'm talking about in terms of the observer state, all I mean is being in that state is being in such a deeply centered and grounded place within yourself that you cannot be thrown off of your center, right? It's like you can be in the midst of insane chaos, but if you're in that observer state and you're so centered and you're so grounded, whatever's happening around you will not cause you to waver within yourself, right? That's all that means, like observe, right? Observe. So those are two very important things that I really wanted to stress and elaborate on. And like I mentioned too, lots of Leo energy, like wanting us to go and share and express and be out in the light and all that good stuff. There is a nice support from Vesta that is also adding the component of our desires, what's sacred to us, and also any personal callings, like wanting to do all, like wanting to wanting to pursue and nurture all of those things from a creative place, from a place of leadership, from a place of courage. There's going to be some people that are facing their fears this week. That's not for everybody, but facing your fears and being courageous to do these things, and also from a place of overcoming your own personal wounds and insecurities, utilizing your unique experience there too, and to be witnessed in that. Beautiful. And then, like I mentioned before, Gemini is in a weird spot this week and is like it's almost like Gemini's needing to surrender to like Virgo Pisces. And it's not like a suppression. It's like Gemini feels very enthusiastic. And again, we'll get into it. Actually, I feel like I'm in the overview. I'm giving you guys all the information, to be honest. I'm like, am I going to have anything left to say? Probably not, actually. But with all the Gemini energy, there's a lot of enthusiasm, which is great. That's amazing. But Virgo and Pisces, with the aspects that are being created, like Virgo and Pisces are saying, yeah, be excited and enthusiastic, but there's other shit that's important. There's other stuff that needs to take precedence and priority in life and need to get done and just paid attention to. So, depending on who you are, where you're at, what you're doing, that could be easy, that could be hard, right? But there is a really nice silver lining too this week with this whole balancing act. We have a grand air trine, which is great, between Pluto, Sedna, and Juno. This is bringing in a lot of clarity in terms of how to harmonize your relationships and collaborations and things like that. What's needed as far as like tribal dynamics are concerned. Also, there's a remembrance coming up with that too, which was really exciting. Like I was getting this like innovative remembering, recalling, and sharing and regurgitating like what is being remembered. To me, that feels like literally like technology, innovation, certain practices or studies. Like that's what that was feeling like to me. Like I feel like that grand air trine is going to help us navigate and help us also build out of this week and this full moon, which I think a lot of us are going to need. So don't be scared about this week or even the full moon itself. It's really just a balancing act. That's all it is. It's a balancing act of you and your life and holding center and keeping yourself accountable to all those things. That's all. That's all it is. Okay? All right. That being said, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the astrology. Now, if you guys are only interested in cards and channelings and what have you, that is coming later and it should be time-stamped. So this first little section, did you guys hear that? I've been hearing shit. I swear I've been hearing animals, and I'm like, that animal can't be there. It's like, I know that animal can't be there. It's like, I swear I just heard like monkeys or something, which I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into this. LOL kind of, oh yeah, I just said it. Oh yeah, please like the video if you are enjoying this. Okay, so let's get into this first section. Shine with awareness. So this is part of the Leo energy that I was referencing. So the sun being in Leo will be conjunct Vesta in Leo this week for the entirety of the week. It's going to be really strong towards the end though, especially when we hit the full moon Aquarius, so just know that. This conjunction between the sun and Vesta, that is all of that like courage and confidence and passion and eagerness to take control over something or to lead something or share or express or show, all that yummy, yummy good stuff, right? But that conjunction is trine Chiron, which is also working with Eris. So you have Chiron and Eris working together in Aries, and then that is trine Vesta and the sun in Leo. A lot of fire going on there, but that is what I was referring to before in the overview, where the ability to rely on your unique life experience, how you overcame your personal challenges or your fears or your insecurities, even if you're doing that now, even if you're confronting fears now, because again, some people definitely are, and I was totally feeling that. It's going to be interesting to see what groups that we have when we get into the cards, because I can feel groups are needed today. But anyway, being able to do that and actually like share that with people, and it's really just like a sharing your light, and it feels really good because there's a witnessing in that, there's a recognition in that, and there's an ease with it. However, so the sun conjunction with Vesta is also square Pallas Athena in Scorpio. So much Scorpio Leo energy going on this week. Now that square is bringing in that whole have your eyes and ears on, right? Have your eyes and ears on, have your eyes and ears on. For some of you, this can even manifest in a way of Pallas Athena is getting your attention to other things as well. Pallas Athena can also relate to causes, like social causes, social justice. And some of you may be oh my God, words, may be becoming aware or wanting to learn more about certain injustices that are going on in the world. Some of you may be just noticing certain injustices in your life, especially in terms of relationship or even your own wounds and fears and in terms of your own shadow. But this is where Pallas Athena goes, you're just having your eyes and ears on, and you're just seeing yourself a little more clearly. You're seeing the world a little more clearly. And yes, that might evoke some feeling of I need to make this right. Right? You're like, I'm over here having fun with my calling and over here having fun with like passion and creativity. But you know what? That bullshit over there, I need to go do something about that. And maybe you do want to do both, but maybe it's a distraction. So again, balance and discernment. But if this is also manifesting in terms of your own fears and insecurities and shadow, definitely I would say go with the flow and do the work and balance that with everything else you're doing in terms of that whole Leo shining your light with other people sort of energy. Okay. Something about the end of the week though, with this little cluster, is when the sun at square Uranus kicks in. And that's when the anxiety and uncertainty starts to kick in towards the end of the week as we get right on top of that full moon Aquarius. So I just want to let you guys know that. Mercury will also be working with the sun at this time when we hit the end of the week. And that's really just going to add to more of that desire to express, but then again, the anxiety and all of that may be coming up to disrupt that or make that agitated. I actually could even, like, just sitting here a little bit longer with it. There is a little bit of a self-righteous energy that I'm feeling for some people. Not everyone's going to fall into that trap, but some people definitely are, with the sun working with Mercury and squaring off Uranus. Again, this is also part of the grand fixed cross, okay? So to give you details on that, Sun, Mercury, Vesta, all in Leo, square Uranus, which is opposing Pallas Athena and Scorpio. Well, Pallas Athena and Scorpio is squaring off Sun, Mercury, Vesta, right? While there is this opposition to the moon being in Aquarius. So you see what I'm saying here, right? So just be mindful of the shadows of all of these signs. The shadow of Leo, the shadow of Aqua, the shadow of Scorpio, the shadow of Taurus. There is a self-righteousness that is kind of baked into the shadows of all of these signs. So just be very mindful, especially with the Mercury component being with the sun, okay? Anything else about this? Let's see. Oh yeah, so just mentioning this again, this might be a little repetitive, but when it comes to that square with Pallas Athena and Scorpio, maintain your checks and balances of the self, ego, projections, illusions, fears, wounds, clear view of self and others, tactile discernment, honor and discern what you can / should be showing, expressing, sharing, and what is best not to, for the sake of balance, for the sake of harmony, peace, and safety, and for the sake of truth. Okay, I always want to add integrity to that, to be honest with you. Now, I didn't do like the words. I didn't do signs and degrees because I was running out of time. Do I even really need to? I mean, there's just a lot that's really active this week. I'm not gonna go into those. There's just a lot that's active this week. I would definitely say that mutables and fixed signs are gonna be hit the hardest this week. And with the full moon Aquarius, like you're just gonna really, really feel it. Scorpio is important, Taurus is important, Leo is super, super important. The full moon in Aquarius is going to be important. And then with the mutable signs, Gemini is probably the most important, but again, it's like, it's needing to almost like sequester to Virgo, Pisces. So it's like, there's a lot of signs going on this week. Discern for yourself. Okay, getting into the next section here. Is it normal to be extra horny? Actually, yeah, it is. And that's actually part of the aspects I'm going to talk about next. So this one, hold on a second. Again, all of this is manifesting differently for everybody, so take it as it resonates. But this one, the balance of practical and the spiritual trumping enthusiasm, okay? It does feel a little parental too. It feels a little bit like needing to really get the self in line, but also not get so extreme with it or extreme with others in terms of that either. Yeah, I really feel that. But let's get into this. So Mars conjunct Jupiter, I've mentioned this before. This is a magnified sense of charm, intellect, charisma, enthusiasm for social experiences, learning, new experiences, planning, experimentation, exploration, and expression, okay? Really, really nice, really yummy, really, really great for relationships, and really great if you're like trying to get in the mix and just have new experiences. It feels really good. However, there is a restriction with that, like I mentioned before. With Saturn, starting with Saturn, I'm like seeing stuff. That conjunction is square Saturn and Pisces. Now, I've talked about Saturn and Pisces quite a bit. Did I do a video? I feel like I did. I think I did an astro talk for Saturn retrograding in Pisces. I'm pretty sure I did. And if I did, it's probably in the astro talk playlist. If you guys are curious, there's also one for Mercury retrograde. Just putting it out there. But on the full moon Aquarius, Jupiter will be exactly square Saturn. This is also why this is so important here, okay? Saturn being in Pisces is also helping with the observer state because it's forcing us to practice, not forcing us, it's asking us to practice spiritual emotional discipline. And that can come by in so many different ways, right? That could be in the realm of, did I write these down? I did. That could be discipline with letting go, forgiveness, faith, trust, self-care, cultivating your craft, cultivating spiritual practices, even spending time alone or spending time within, right? That is all Saturn Pisces. That is the pressure of what Pisces is asking. Very, very different from Gemini. And it does feel a little bit more like needing to just be an adult and be accountable and just recognize when you can play in Gemini, which is play, and when you need to take a step back and handle things and reflect on things and be introspective and really hold yourself accountable to the, I almost want to say emotional fire, which is interesting, and let go of things that you're emotionally attaching to, even if they're fears themselves. Fear seems really big this week. Like astrologically, it's not, but I can just feel it in the air. Maybe that's the anxiety and insecurity I'm feeling too, but I'm feeling fear. Again, not for all of you, but I feel it there, okay? Be enthusiastic and curious, but again, honor that emotional spiritual discipline, which actually could open some doors, which is also why it's important to honor that. It could open some doors. It could help to keep you centered and keep you clear and not permit or allow you to get caught up in illusion and fantasy, okay? Because Saturn in Pisces also teaches that, like, how to enjoy Pisces fully without getting floating carried away into fantasy and not realistic anything. But even Gemini can be fantastical. Like Gemini, they're talking to me as I'm sharing information. What they just said to me was Gemini likes stories. I was like, oh yeah, that's very true. Gemini and Pisces, if they're not balanced, both of them can get carried away. Like Gemini likes a good story. Gemini likes to play in the realm of possibilities, as does Pisces. It's just very different, like the way they both play in those realms. But if it's not grounded, it's a whole lot of talking and it's a whole lot of daydreaming, and then nothing really happens, right? So it's just very interesting that how that wanted to come through. Now, so that's that. And I'm going to get into how Virgo plays a role into this. Now, Venus is in Virgo this week. And Venus in Virgo is making an interesting transition from the beginning of the week to the end. The beginning of the week, Venus is trine Ceres in Capricorn, which is beautiful because that's allowing us to enjoy cultivating our material plane, especially anything that's going to help us with like long-term goals, legacy, resources being money, food, time, energy, things like that. And also relationships are tied into that too, with Venus being in Virgo. Relationships that are also, that we are looking at as, is this part of my long-term legacy? Is this not? Is this a bestie? Is this a life partner? Is this a business partner? Is this someone I can trust, not trust? Like, you know, all of that sort of deal, which is nice. As we move towards the end of the week, Venus starts to join Orcus. Some of y'all know about Orcus. Venus moves into a conjunction with Orcus. But while it moves into a conjunction with Orcus, it moves into a square with Mars and Jupiter. Yeah. So then now we already have this Gemini square Pisces energy. Now suddenly we have Virgo square Gemini, while Pisces is also square Gemini, while Virgo is also opposing Pisces towards the end of the week, like I mentioned. And so what's going to happen is we're going to go from that like feeling this ease with kind of like cultivating our practical life and legacy and all of that sort of deal. And then we're going to move into needing to learn how to like keep doing that while the enthusiasm and eagerness to play and experiment gets amplified. So it's almost like Gemini, while it feels really good, can almost be distracting and a little tempting to kind of waver on some of those practical matters and even matters of the soul and spirit, because it's also in a square with Pisces. While Venus and Pisces are trying to harmonize, like they're not actually harmonizing, they're opposing. But when you have an opposition, it's just a window to learn how to harmonize those energies of how to balance the practical and the spiritual, right? So it becomes even more important as we get close to the full moon Aquarius to balance that polarity of practical and spiritual and to prioritize it over our own enthusiasm, right? It's just there's a responsibility there. There's an accountability there. It's not saying don't enjoy Gemini, but there are other things that are important for right now. Also, what I was getting with that too is like, while there's this like focus on things that we're enjoying and things that we are investing in, there's also going to be some moments, I'm going to say moments, moments in the next couple of weeks, especially because the full moon Aquarius is mostly part of this energy, but in the next couple of weeks where, yeah, we're enjoying certain things, but we might actually have to do things we don't really want to do for the sake of what we want to do long term or even later, right? And, you know, that's just unfortunately part of life. And it's going to be a little difficult for some people because our enthusiasm is going to be high, but some of the things that we're going to need to do or need to learn, that's also what I was feeling too, like shelving your progress on certain things so you can stop and go back and review or recalibrate or revise, or very Mercury retrograde, right? Or actually learn something or go and attain certain skills or information that you actually do need to take that thing back off the shelf and progress with it appropriately. But some of those things, maybe things you really, really don't want to do. It's adulting. What can I say? It doesn't have to be bad. It just is what it is. It's all about the balance. All about the balance this week. Okay. But this section is definitely gonna hit my mutable signs for sure. The last section, my fixed signs are gonna feel that. This section, my mutable signs are really gonna feel this. Okay. And then we have, is it just one more? Yeah, just one more. I've been having such a weird hair week, I just have to say. I've been trying, you know, different hair products for years now. It's like always a hair journey, but I was on like a decent regimen, and then I was like, maybe I could find a better conditioner. And then I tried it, and I don't know what it did to my hair, but my hair is so unhappy. I like literally the whole week I couldn't do anything with it. So I'm like really excited to wash my hair tonight. Just random, I know, but just had to go there. Okay. Oh, Uranus. Oh, Uranus. Okay. So this section, destroy for the right reasons in the appropriate ways. That's what I'm going to say before I'm going to dive into this. Destroy for the right reasons, destroy for the right reasons in the appropriate ways. I got new curly products recently too. The thing is, I wish I could just make my own and be happy. And I tried that for a bit and it was not good. It just wasn't good for me. I just don't trust anything on the market. I gotta be honest. Like, I think this should be actually a separate video. I don't trust anything on the market. I just don't. I don't fully trust anything on the market. It's really hard to, when you live in the United States, to trust what is being sold. Because you just know, there's hidden crap in there. There's like shit in there that's just like technically really awful for you. And okay, I know this is a huge tangent. Hold on a second. Let me come back to that. I'm gonna have to give me a timestamp for this. Hold on. Tangent. Okay, just gotta get this off my chest. So how many nights ago was this? Sometime in the last couple days, I came across a YouTuber I've never seen before, and he was talking about Victorian era insane things they used to do, right? So I'm just watching this video. It wasn't even that interesting, but like it just had me thinking more about our current times. Like, there's so many different periods through human history where they were doing things that they had no idea was like highly toxic and highly like just terrible for them, right? But they thought it was cool. They thought it was like the healthy thing. And I just like look at everything that we have in our world as far as like consumerism goes and just products. And it's just like, we know a lot of our products are bad. Like we know, everybody knows, there's no denying it. But as bad as we think they are, how much worse are they really? Right? Or even the things that we think are good, how bad is it really? And we're not going to find out for like 50 years. Like, and I know that's just part of human development, anthropologic, cultural evolution. Like I get it. But I don't know. It really freaked me out. It's just, you know, it freaks me out. Everything that I have in my home or that I need to like put on my body or in my body, I'm just like, I feel like I can't trust this. I feel like I can't trust this. I feel like I can't trust this. Uh, Us with putting everything in plastic, then wondering why everybody is filled with microplastics. Yeah, I love the hair talk right there with you. I use jojoba oil and nothing else. I do still use my hair oil. I do still use that. I have an oil for my scalp. I did have a home, so I went down a rabbit hole for a bit with hair products just because I was having a really bad long-term issue that doctors really didn't give a shit about, honestly. So I tried my hand at making my own shampoo, my own conditioner, my own hair mask, my own hair oil. Shampoo was a hot mess. I tried it once, never again. The conditioner I did like, but I don't think my scalp liked it. My hair loved it, my scalp did not in the long term. Hair oil, like I said, I still use. And the hair mask was more for my scalp, and it was effective. Honestly, it just was tedious. It was tedious. I don't got a whole lot of space for like these really, you know, elaborate care routines, you know. Uh, like whose decision was it to allow food product instead of actual food? Yeah, right. I had to turn off my TV because I saw a stranded dead one. Oh, and wanted to cry. The things we do and use collectively have an impact. Oh, they do. I wish I lived in the US. They have the best curly products. I personally have not had good luck with curly hair products here in the States. Like my entire life, I haven't. And then when I thought I did, it turned out okay. So I did used to use DevaCurl back in the day, and then they sold it, and then they changed the formula, and they didn't tell their customers. Like, and of course, the formula just like destroyed the scalps of anyone who used it. Unfortunately, I have not had any luck at all at all. I have tried so many. I have spent so much money over the years, and I just don't trust any of it. I don't trust any of it. Um, and it's sad. It's a shame. It shouldn't be this difficult. I hate when they do that, mess up. I know, and I thought about like the people who like initially created it. Like, were they angry? Were they did they feel guilty? Were they mad at themselves that they literally sold out? And then something that they had created to help people, like even like people who were just like them because they had curly hair, right? Like they actually did like permanent damage to these people. It's just like I don't know. I don't know how I would feel. I would feel awful if that were me. Um, have you used Curlsmith or Not Your Mother's? I've used Not Your Mother's. My hair did not like it. Curlsmith, I haven't heard of. Do you have any videos on meaning of Star of David, Grand Cross in the natal chart? I don't, but I've been explaining it. I've been explaining it. Cantu wasn't good for me. Have you tried the Camille Rose line? Yeah. No, no bueno. Only girls with curls and Tushi Giovanni, green avocado and olive oil. I sometimes mix them and it's amazing. Pantene for curly hair is actually not bad, and Shea Moisture. I've tried that too. So with my hair, I've also the words, I'm sorry. There are just certain ingredients that I look out for that I know my hair, it's just like a big no-no. Because for me, um, I have 3C hair, so it's like it's very fine, but it's very coily. So anything heavy, my hair is like, no. Coconut oil, no. Like anything heavy, my hair is just like it's too much for my hair and my scalp. But then anything that has like silicone, like glycerides, things like that, my hair is like, no, you're not doing it. And a lot of products have those things for curly hair. Unfortunately, they don't make a lot of curly hair products for fine curly hair, and it's a problem. I tried pros. They also put shit in their stuff too. Just saying. Like when you get pros, they actually do give you the ingredient list, but they don't put it on the bottle. They put it in your little like shipping thing, and some of their ingredients are also some of the stuff I mentioned. So yeah, I can't do pros either. So it's just a thing. Anyway, tangent. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Try making your own rosemary water hairspray. I do put my hair oil has rosemary in it. And like I said, I do still use it. I do still use that. Also, living where I live is like not great for my hair either. And I honestly like totally would move just for hair purposes. I totally would. But living here is really not good for my hair. I have fine curly too. Look up living libations. Oh, okay. I'll give that a try. I do watch what's her name? Um Mains by Mel. I watch her with caution. I do enjoy her videos. I just with caution because my own life experience, right? But she does have some interesting videos where she tests a lot of products out and she explains a lot, and I do really appreciate that. Um, I live in Canada too. Maybe a moose because it's lighter. Yeah, it's just hair. It's just my hair situation. But I appreciate the recommendation. I used to use something called wait, hold on. V and Company Beauty Curl Hair Shampoo from Walmart and Target. It's amazing, pink bottle, super reasonable, and the best I've ever used to keep my hair curly. Great reviews. I feel like I've seen that one. Like when you said pink bottle, I felt like I saw it. Let's see. Great natural hair products. Hold on. I think some of these I've heard about a lot of these. Hold on. Is super clean out of Canada. I love their products. She has a loud energy. To me, she's totally a Leo. Like I feel like she's got to have strong Leo in her chart and Libra. Like Leo and Libra. Like that's what I get from her. Just really strongly. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but just what I feel. It looks better than the one that is made specifically for your hair. Cool. One of my clients has been using rice water. I did try rice water for a while. Again, like the tediousness, because like when you make it and then you like store it, but it's fermented, right? And it's like there is a point where you can't keep using it, but it's like it just became too tedious. But I did try it for a while. I did. I'm at this point with my curls where I'm just ready to shave my head and start over. I won't lie. That's crossed my mind. That's crossed my mind, especially because I've been growing out my sides, which has been a painful transition. I can't even tell you. And I'm just like, I've been growing them out since January. So we're like 7 months, and it's like, it's barely anything. It's like barely anything. Oh my God, the rice water stinks after a while. It really does. It does. Rice water is too heavy for some people. Yeah, and to be honest with my hair, it what made it softer, but like softness hasn't really been my issue, right? Um, yeah, it's been more of like a scalp issue for the most part. And also just preventing like breakage on the ends and things like that. But shedding is also an issue for me. Um, so the rice water, yeah, it helped, but it wasn't, you know, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Hold on. I'm not Canadian, lol. I cut my own hair because I don't trust anyone to do it, and now I'm like, should have just shaved it from the get-go. Oh, sometimes it takes practice. I've been cutting my own hair for years, and I can't imagine allowing or trusting anyone to cut my hair at this point. Like I've had so many bad experiences, which is why I just started cutting my own hair because it was like I'm not going to pay so much money for someone to cut my hair in a way that I don't like, especially with curly hair. Like for those who are not aware, if you have curly hair and you're going to go get a haircut, it is so expensive. It is insanely expensive. It's just like blows my mind. Blows my mind. Totally predatory. I like flaxseed oil, but it's tedious and I don't do it often. Yeah. Yeah, my shedding has increased a lot since COVID. Oh, yeah, shedding is it's a whole thing. All right. Let's get back. Let's get back. Oh, that was like a 10-minute tangent. That was a good one. Okay. It's funny because literally we're talking about Uranus and like destruction, right? We're talking about all this stuff. So destroy for the right reasons in the appropriate ways, okay? So like I said, we have some long-term aspects that I already went over in the overview. But what is important for this week is Uranus in Taurus is going to be opposing Pallas Athena in Scorpio, while square Vesta in Leo and the Sun in Leo. Hold on, let me fix the chat. Okay, there we go. So like I mentioned before, there is this very agitated energy that comes through with these particular aspects, and also could create a challenge with other people, like playing well with others, because there's this like urge or desire that comes up, and some of you this can appear as like an external challenge that you have to deal with, where it's calling for the takedown or the destruction of something that's an injustice, of something that needs to be righted. But there's a very like, I'm gonna do it my way. I see this as bullshit. I see the solution. I will execute it. But because it's also working with Pallas Athena, there is this component of you might not be able to do it alone. You may need help. You may need to collaborate with people to deal with the destruction or the takedown or the resolution of whatever this particular problem is, or whatever this particular injustice is. Now, that being said, that is separate from what you're feeling so great about in your personal calling or your personal desires, or what is evoking passion and fun and just being in the light, right? These are different experiences. And so kind of what I was alluding to earlier, it's like you may want to do this, or you may be feeling this, and then something catches your attention here and you're like, what is that messed up thing? And before you know it, you're not honoring this thing over here. So this is where balance comes into play. But having the opposition to Pallas Athena and Scorpio, it's about having that owl eagle eyes on, eyes and ears on of, wait a minute, is this a distraction? Do I need to take that down? Maybe I could let someone else handle this, or maybe I could work with someone on this. And is my ego wrapped up in this? Am I feeling self-righteous here? Do I got a hero complex? Some of you guys, there might be a hero complex that comes through with like Leo, all the fixed signs, but especially like Leo being in the mix of this too. Just the shadow, just speaking of the shadows. So again, if you're going to destroy, take down, try to resolve an injustice, do it from the right place, in the right way, play well with others. Don't make it about an ego thing. Don't make it about being number one or whatever, being right. That is going to be coming up a lot in people's shadows for whoever still has that as part of their shadows. Okay. Yeah. And remember, some of you may need to do both, but some of you, it's just going to be a distraction. So you need to use your own discernment with that. Neptune is also going to be opposing Juno this week. And then it's going to fall out of that aspect once we hit the full moon. And it's just this quick little mention that Neptune opposing Juno can bring about some illusion and fantasies with collaborations and dealing with people. Also, why it's important to have your eyes and ears on and be discerning about who you're dealing with and why you're dealing with them and what it is that they are really intending. And that also comes into play with how much you are sharing. It doesn't mean be a secretive Scorpio. That's not what that means. It's just basically like be discerning. Not everyone has to see everything. Not everyone has to see everything. Not everybody's got to know everything. Like, right information, right things for the right people, right? Right. Okay. Now, like I mentioned before, there is a grand air trine that is awesome and beautiful and will be very supportive, okay? This does feel like a big collective energy, but obviously this can come through in your individual lives. But Pluto being in Aquarius, which is still retrograding at 0 degrees, is trine Juno in Libra, and also trine Sedna in Libra. Sorry, Gemini. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That makes a grand trine. So there are 3 components to this that are nice. So there is a support to balance and harmonize and collaborate with the right people, right? But it has to be using clarity. It's got to be using that crystal vision that is mentioned in the title, the owl, eagle, discerning eyes of Scorpio, right? Discovering of deeper truths and self and tribe and community needs and dynamics. That's also going to be part of this as well. And also you learn a lot from yourself by learning a lot about others and community, right? And also there's an innovative energy here too, but I kept getting the word remembrance, and also ancient wisdom is here with Sedna in Gemini. This is leading more to definitely like bigger global sort of things, environmentalism, social reform, technology, telepathy, community reform, that sort of deal. Tech is gonna be interesting. It's already interesting. Um, I can feel, I don't want to talk about this little portal that I'm feeling. There's like a portal realm. I can't decide what words I want to use for this. I feel like it can just evoke a lot of fear unnecessarily, but there's some truth in there. And so, okay, thank you. They said this is why you're talking about it. I'm like, why am I talking about this? The reason this is coming up is because with full clarity and sight and discernment, we can see truth, whatever that truth may be, whether it's beautiful and uplifting and liberating or kind of scary and kind of startling, right? Big change can be scary sometimes, especially if we don't really want it. And we're like, no, I'm cool. I don't want that level of change. That's a lot. That's a lot. When it comes to economic changes and changes in like financial sectors, that's inevitable. I started talking with this with a couple of friends actually recently. It's inevitable. It is what it is. The system we have does not work. We've all known this for a long time. I could do a whole video on why it don't work and why it's bullshit. But a system that does not work and that is not sustainable will eventually die. It will eventually crash. And enough people have been aware of this for long enough that it is time for that to change. It's time for that to come in. Now, that could take years still, or it could happen really fast. I could see both timelines there. Timelines there, but it's nothing to be scared about. It's just change. And honestly, it's needed. I don't think any of us want to keep riding the roller coaster of recession, depression. I don't think any of us want to keep doing that. Because you know what? Every time it's just going to get a little bit more worse and a little bit more worse and a little bit more worse. I would rather have something completely different than this insanity that our whole planet has been on for far too long. So I just felt the need to put that disclaimer out there that if you have any fear coming up around it, that's normal, that's natural to have anxiety. What can help alleviate fear and anxiety is informing yourself and research and education and taking the unknown factor out of it by just learning about it. Now, yes, it could be easy to let the fear overcome you, but that is a free will choice. That is a checks and balances, accountability to self kind of a choice, right? So just want to mention that. I want to get off the roller coaster. Yeah, I think all of us are done. All of us are done. And also with this Uranus energy coinciding with the full moon Aquarius, don't be surprised if there is, some crazy big blow-ups as far as like protests or social injustice and things like that, and people just being fed up. Because I know our community has been fed up for a long time, but even I don't want to say normal masses, I don't know how else to say that, the normal masses, so to speak, that have been very content just continuing the insanity are done. They've been done. And I don't think very many people can tolerate being pushed much further, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think that's a thing. I think that's definitely a thing. But that being said, that is all the astrology that I got for you this week. Let's go ahead and get into messages. Like, we've already had plenty of messages here. Just getting my timestamps ready. If you need a little break, a water break, exactly. I was like, it feels like intermission time. Potty break, water break, grab a snack break. We're not going to do signs. We're going to do groups. We're definitely going to be doing groups. I debated about doing a collective with the groups, but I think just groups will be good for this. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it like a few minutes before I jump in, just to let you guys know of how much time you have. I think when Pluto solidifies in Aqua, the fed up will become clear. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I can do a whole video on that too. There's just so much to say, man. There's so much to say, and I feel like not enough voice capacity to say it all. That's how I feel. And I don't know if that's also part of my neurodivergence where I'm just like, so much information. This is not efficient. This is not an efficient way to get this out. Is always how I feel. Um, oh, excuse me. So with Pluto, Pluto being in Aquarius is a very, very long phase. It's a very long phase. It's 20 years for those who are still new to astrology. And here's the thing. A lot of people are very excited with Pluto being in Aquarius now. And yes, let's be excited. It's newish energy. We might as well be excited. Pluto's just getting started. So what happens when Pluto moves into a sign and finishes with a sign? Pluto takes that whole cycle, the next 20 years, to completely break it down and allow it to evolve. Break it down and allow it to ascend. So what's going to happen in the first, we'll say 7. Feels like, I don't know why I want to say 7. That just is a natural number coming through. Let's just say 7. The first 7-ish, give or take, years is going to be more about the breakdown, the breaking, the pressure. But out of that, we are still going to see a lot of practices that are distorted in terms of Aquarius. So we are going to see people attempt to build up community and social reform in ways that are actually still rooted in distortion. But it serves a purpose because it's going to show us the kinks, right? It's going to show us the kinks. It's going to show us where we need to grow. And then we're going to move into a phase where it's not a lull, but it's a nice middle, okay? Where there is some sort of stability of sorts and we are just kind of in it. And there is some growth, but it's not as like, it's not as destructive. We're done with the destructive phase. It's like, it's a learning and navigating, right? But then the last phase is when it intensifies again. It's kind of like a destruct, and then it goes up. So it's kind of like that, like destroy, if you're looking at it like that kind of a graph. Destroy, distortion, creepy shit. Like we might see cults and things like that, like resurge, which is unfortunate too, because we may also see people with like really good intentions, but who are coming at it from a distorted place or actually doing it the right way, but there's too many people doing it in a distorted way. So they're like, they get punished for it. We might see some like things like that. These are just examples, right? AI could even be involved in this too, right? So anyway, distortion, destruction, creepy shit, right? And then we start to improve, we start to grow, and that's like the middle phase. It's not a lull, like there's progression, it's just kind of slower, it's more mellow. And then we hit the last phase when we start getting into like the later degrees of Aquarius, and then the growth and evolution is exponential, right? And really peaks when it actually leaves the sign, goes to the next. That's the gift of Pluto, right? When Pluto moves into a sign, it brings destruction and pressure with it. And then when it leaves, it brings the gift of, well, truth of that, truth and evolution and ascension from that. Like when Pluto was done with Capricorn, we got to move into this like Capricorn 2.0, right? Where we saw how fucked up society really is and for what it is, but we are now ascending it, right? We've been ascending it, even if it doesn't look the way people expected it to. So it is amazing. It's just going to be a long ride. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a long ride. And I think when we're in this destruction phase, I think there are going to be people who are examples of the evolved Aquarian vibe, so to speak. But they're not going to be up front and center. I think they're actually going to be like the good examples, but kind of hidden away. And then probably when we're towards the end of that 20-year cycle, they're going to be like kind of the wayshowers in a way, I guess is the best way to say that. Like they will show and come out to the world when it is the best time, when the world's ready for stuff like that. That's kind of how I see it. I could be totally wrong, but that's just my perspective. It sounds less stressy than I anticipated for the upcoming full moon, but I may have misinterpreted, hopefully soon. Everyone's interpreting it so differently too, Again, that's kind of the beauty of just collective things, but all right. So we're about the, I think 5-minute mark, I don't know. I haven't really been keeping track of time, to be honest with you guys. But let me get my cards out, start to slowly get into the vibe. What oracles are we feeling? Are we feeling oracles? It's quite a few decks that want to work today. Hold on. Where are you? There you are. Also, I hurt my finger like a week ago. I'm finally able to not wear a band-aid after a week. I like somehow took a huge chunk out of like my nail bed. So painful. I don't know why I'm sharing that. I'm just talking. I'm just sharing. It's like they're fighting. Hold on. They're not fighting. They're pulling on me and I can't decide. All right, I'm just gonna display them out and then allow the first group to reveal itself. Yeah, that actually feels good. Okay. Because you work with your hands quite a bit. I was actually, maybe it's just part of getting older too. I was trying to open my tripod, or I was trying to open it or close it, and I had some lotion on my hands, and I don't know what I did. I don't know how I did it. It's like I did it. I had to put like pressure on it, and it just went just super quick, and I was like, wow, like piece of plastic did that. It's kind of crazy. Anyway. All right, so let's get ready for these groups here. Connecting with group 1, the first group, please, for this week. Messages for the first group for this week. I don't know if I have enough room here. I haven't seen a Merkabah in a long time. Merkabah white is coming through as a color. Group 1, I want to say pace yourself. Make sure that you do have very grounding, calming, centering practices. But pacing seems to be really big. Why do I feel like you're running? It's like that's like the amount of energy that I feel like is like that you are going to be experiencing this week. Is like you just want to go run a marathon. It does feel like an activation. Feels like an activation. I'm asking for a crystal, and they're saying wood. They're not even saying crystals. Wood. It's like, oh my God, is that how grounded you need to be? Like you need to just like be holding onto a piece of wood? Okay. Any other messages or insights for group 1 for this week? I'm getting the number 16. It could be something about the 16th in particular. Oh, I didn't do a timestamp. God damn it. I'm gonna guess. Okay. Yeah, group 1, I just keep getting like white. Like white out is almost what I want to say. Like you might as well be in the Antarctica when they're like a snow blizzard. It's just like white everywhere. Almost making it hard to navigate. This is reminding me of a reading I did. I did signs yesterday, which are on Patreon. And I think it was the last one. Was it the last one? I did Sag, Libra, and Taurus. Maybe it was Libra. It was like, so I think it was Libra. I could be wrong, but like Libra was like just an open water, and the only way Libra could navigate was through their nose, like their actual intuition and instincts. I'm kind of getting that for you, group 1, but you're like in the snow. You're like just in white everywhere, like a whiteout. Some of you but some of you are realizing that you need to have a much more supportive environment that is very clean. That is very, very clean. I feel like you're working on finding your quiet space internally is what that feels like to me, but it also, there's something externally that should be supportive for you in that. Because even just like think about places like that, right? Like think about places like Antarctica where there's just like nothing. There's nothing but white everywhere. Maybe an animal here or there, maybe, mostly no, right? And there's nothing but just like the sound of earth, right? There's nothing but the sound of the wind. Oh, sound. Oh, are you working with sound? Oh, that's what this is. You're working with sound. Okay. Group 1, you're working with the element of sound. I like that. That feels good. Okay. So there's just things coming through. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for you. Oh God, is that why I struggle with the Oracle? Because I'm like, for working with sound, I'm like, none of these even feel right. We'll go with herbal astrology for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing go to the edge. Go to the edge. Go to the edge. It feels like you are also being encouraged to get out of your comfort zone. It's almost like go to the edge of the world, go to the edge of the container, go to the edge of the cliff. Like go to the maximum level of discomfort you can possibly tolerate and learn to tolerate it. This is like so interesting. Okay. Learn how to find peace in that level of discomfort. With this group, I actually feel like you guys might not be very social right now. Some people are being very social and some are kind of being more, almost said isolatory. That's not a word, isolated. And I'm getting more isolated with you, but it feels like it's important for you right now. Some of you are needing to learn how to find peace in the quiet. Some of you have been very uncomfortable with quiet. When we get uncomfortable with quiet, it's because we can actually feel ourselves. We can hear ourselves. We can even like feel spirit more. It's like there's so much truth in silence, right? There's so much truth to be heard in silence. And when we take silence when we're not used to it, we hear so much of what we're like putting a snooze button on. We hear and feel so much that we are numbing or distracting ourselves from. We just hear so much truth in silence. Even when it comes to like meditating or rituals, some of you may benefit from like not using music. I know that's a go-to for a lot of people, but there's a benefit to that. Any messages or insights for group 1? Yeah, I feel like Libra is part of group 1, I gotta be honest. Any other messages or insights for this group, please? Yeah, passion flower with surrender. With Neptune and the moon, 43 bring it down to a 7. Oh, we got owls. We got owls going on in the background. This is exactly how it sounds. It's surrender, it's flow, it's trust, it's allowing yourself to find the peace and the quiet and the discomfort. Learn how to find peace and that level of surrender at any point in any I'm not going to say in any environment, because I feel like some of you do need something to change in your physical environment to facilitate this, but this is a very peaceful kind of quiet surrender, and there's a lot to be gained there, especially with Neptune and the moon. There's a lot to gain intuitively, okay? Spiritually, but intuitively first and foremost. Can I get one more? I want to get one more. They said no. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the Fae. I couldn't decide for a minute. All the decks I use link below, by the way. Soul Shrinker, 55. The quiet is so important for you because you may be unaware of the Soul Shrinker energy in and or around you. The soul shrinker comes out as toxic, poisonous words or thoughts. Okay? Toxic, poisonous words or thoughts that are internal dialogue, your own ego, or someone externally, right? That is affecting you in that way with their words, like poisoning you with their words, poisoning your mind with their words. It's that kind of deal. Okay? If you're having doubts, insecurities, fears, if you know, almost like, what's the word? Subliminally? That's interesting. Subliminal wanted to come through. Our negative self-talking yourself, you'll hear it in the quiet. You'll become aware of it when you have complete silence. Yeah. Yeah. Some of you, this is actually a coping mechanism. Like, it's easier to speak negatively because there's something that's like soothing about it. That's interesting. That just feels like programming, like learned behavior, familiar. Can I get one more, please? Sorry, it's like, ooh, haven't seen this one in a bit. The singer of connection. Oh, group 1. That soul shrinker has been interference for you. And again, it could be your own stuff getting in the way, right? It could, I just got dizzy as I said that. It could be your own stuff that's been getting in the way. Your own, again, negative thoughts, negative self-talk, or like negative words, criticism, judgments, that sort of deal. Or it could be someone externally disrupting you. But yeah, it's disruptive. It's disruptive energy from this. The Singer of Connection is a beautiful card. It's literally like connection of all things. It's meeting A to B, right? It actually facilitates an energy of unity, right? But I feel like with the Singer of Connection, it's representing a multifaceted thing here for some of you. Some of you, it's just connection to self. Some of you, it's connection to spirit, connection to your own truth, connection to your own voice. Interesting, especially with the Soul Shrinker, which is very much like mercurial, like shadow Mercury, right? Excuse me. Some of you, it's your connection to your own voice, right? This is disrupting. It's almost like, I want to say it's disrupting the frequency. It's like, it's the static on the cell phone, right? Hold on, I gotta do something with this hair. What is that deck called? Hold on, give me a second. Okay. It is called the Fairies Oracle, is what it is called. And it is linked below, pretty sure. Sometimes it's your internet connection. Yeah, exactly. It could literally even be the vibration of like EMF and things like that. But it is literally disrupting, I want to say, your antenna. I do. I want to say it's a disruption of your own antenna. This is what, oh my God, this is why you need the whiteout. This is why you need to be in that like metaphorical Antarctica, right? Where there's nothing. There's nobody, there's no animals, there's no noise, there's no, like there's nothing but you and the sound of the earth. Like, that is what you need right now, okay? To recognize that this is here and recognize how to, I want to say, transcend it, actually. Some of you have been having a lot of telepathy. And so when that happens, when telepathy gets amplified, yeah, that's like when the channel gets bigger, when the channel really opens up, you can be picking up on a lot. I keep getting antenna with this. Antenna. I keep getting antenna with this. Oh yeah, thank you. So that is what it is for some of you too. Some of you, your antenna, your channel has grown. And because of that, you're picking up on everything, including these kinds of things, right? Yeah. You can transcend it. You can transcend it. You just need to be disciplined about giving yourself the right environment and the right practices to do so. All right, let's get into the animals, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Yeah, some of you, your antenna has grown so much, like, you know when people are talking shit. You might even actually like hear them talking shit, but like they're not physically near you. Even with that, I can feel there's so much navigating you versus others. This feels like very Libra energy to me. Yeah, navigating you versus others, um, your own voice versus your ego voice is like grounding is gonna get you there. Grounding and that observer state and dropping deep within yourself is gonna get you there. Okay. Oh, I hate that soul sugar energy. uh, Firefly. Oh, I like that. Firefly is like burst of vitality, burst of inspiration. It's kind of like a muse energy, but it's temporary. It's fleeting. So like when this card comes out, even in the book, it says like capitalize on this energy because it's not going to be around forever. This is yummy. This is something that is purely for you and no one else. And I feel like this is getting in the way of that. It's like once you can transcend that or deal with that, recognize that for what it is and allow it to not even be a problem anymore, to not affect you or disrupt you or interfere with your connection to your truth, your connection to spirit, your voice, being in that place of unity, right? Once you get there, I feel like this is going to come up. I think this is going to hit you. Some of you, it's going to come in the form of a big download. Some of you, it's literally just going to be the form of like, oh, I just feel inspired and I got to do this now, right? It's a really nice energy. But you got to get past this. You got to get past that because you can't get into this place of connection with that soul shrinker energy going on, okay? Anything else for group one? And again, I keep feeling this like sense of isolation. If people have been like not talking to you, I think that's a good thing. Some of you may not like it or may become distracted. If that's happening that way, like suddenly people are just not talking to you, I feel like it's actually your team. I gotta be honest. I feel like it's your team going, keep seeing Astro Cats everywhere. I feel like it's your team going like, you need to be in a metaphorical Antarctica. So we're gonna make that happen. Like it's kind of got that vibe. Which is interesting because if there is anybody coming through, but you're having that feeling of like people like why are people suddenly just gone, with the exception of maybe one or two people, ask yourself why that is. Right? Like get in tune with that feeling of like, wait a minute. If I am being protected, but this person's being loud, but this person's not, what does that say? Right? Anyway. Okay. Like, this is such an interesting feeling. It may even feel like people are like, not disgusted by you. That sounds like such strong language. Like resistant, deterrent, put off by you. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because you're also getting into this, you're so close to this like pure energy that it's also going to make this really show itself if anybody is like that towards you, okay, externally. But again, it could also be your own stuff. Anyway, let's get other animals out here, please, for group one. I love that little firefly. I feel like I can feel another group coming in and I'm like trying to like hold up. Oh, I was gonna say fire and then moth came out. So moth is technically air, but moth is drawn to the flame, right? It's drawn to the light, drawn to the firefly. This can indicate that you are pulling in certain opportunities and certain people and situations, absolutely, with this firefly energy. But I feel like it's more of an alignment thing. Like with the connection card, right? Like you can see in this card, it's like, here's your antenna. And it's almost like this is you, but this is another energy, right? Or another aspect of self. And it's like, right? Like coming together in connection. That's what this feels like here. Like firefly is inspiring and uplifting. And then it's like alignment is what that feels like. I feel like you're just aligning to a certain timeline with this as a result of that singer connection energy. That's really what it feels like to me. Could it be people and situations and opportunities? Absolutely. But I feel like it's more like you feel this and you capitalize on that and you flow with it. And then you don't even realize you're slowly like magnetizing yourself to a certain reality. That feels good. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. That feels really, really nice. Can I get one more, please? Oh, the cards really want to talk now. Good Lord. Yeah, I can feel it with the soul shrinker. There's a lot of distractions going on there, so just discern, okay? Yeah, interesting. So Lizard just came out on Firefly. Normally, Lizard is my empath overload card. Too much energy, too much stimulus, too much light, too much. But with it being with the Firefly, that's why they're saying just surrender to it, right? Just give into it. Just let it inspire you. Just roll with it. Just run with it. And that's actually going to help the energy to like mellow out. If you get hit with this and you just sit and you don't do anything with it, yeah, you can get overwhelmed. It's like a fireball energy. Like you could definitely get overwhelmed. So just be mindful about that. Okay. I guess that's all the animals wanted to say here because I feel like it's starting to just get a little repetitive. So let's get into the tarot and then we'll move on to group 2. Oh man, does this really want to be spoken on right now? Okay, so this needs to be spoken on here. It's just kind of gross stuff. So with this energy, for those where this is an external energy, like a person or I don't want to say entities, but you know, you can even use that word. Being in that observer state, this will just fall away. You'll become like Teflon, okay? You'll be like Teflon and this will be like, I don't know, some sticky substance, okay? When you get in that observer state and really creepy things come up, this is just speaking from my own shamanic experiences. When you get into an observer state and people's shadows like this come out or creepy things come out, even if they try to like influence you or say something mean to you or whatever, if you're in that observer state and they realize, oh, they're actually super solid and I can't get in there, I can't affect them, I can't sway them, they're just gonna go away. Literally, they're just like, that's it. So that's the best way to say that in terms of like spiritual attack and all that stuff. If you feed that narrative, yeah, this will be a problem if you feed that narrative. But if you get in that observer state, like Teflon, it'll just go away. Okay? All right. Any messages or insights for group 1? Ooh. Oh yeah, you are isolated. We have 4 swords going on here. 4 swords could be a card of recovery, but it's also just taking some time up for self. It also can be like a spa day or what have you. But I can feel it. It's like this is you taking time for you in isolation, in contemplation. Okay. Anything else for group 1? Some of you are also realizing how good it really feels to take space for yourself when you can like drop in deep for yourself, when you can get in that observer state and be alone in it, how good it really feels, which is great. Good night, Esther. Anything else for group 1? Oh, Page of Swords. Again, if you got external soul shrinkers, they don't like it. They don't like it, but it is what it is. I feel like you guys are I feel like there's a little bit of reflecting on other people. Some of you guys are getting, again, like telepathic communication with the Page of Swords and Four of Swords being here. Something about the Page of Swords, I just don't like it. I really don't like it here. But sometimes the Page of Swords can indicate a new perspective, right? Like a new idea or a new philosophy, which Firefly, again, can speak to that as well and being inspired. But I can also feel the immaturity and like soul shrinker energy behind that too. So again, if it's also your own soul shrinker energy, your own immature, negative self-talk, self-criticism, doubts, fears, etc., it's time to not have that be a problem for you anymore. It's time to deal with it. Can I get one more? Just one last card and then we'll move into group 2. Magician. Highly capable. Magician is a capability energy. Magician, it can also be alchemy and transmutation and literally working with magic, right? But it's about a level of being capable. The magician knows how to work with all the elements, which is exactly the challenge of this week and the full moon. Can you work with a Grand Cross energy? Can you work with all of the fixed signs and all of the different elements and do something with it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you can also work your magic in the observer state, because when you're in the observer state, you're also center, meaning it is actually easier to navigate all of the elements of your life, right? And all the forms that it comes with, and do something with it. And do something with it. Not get overwhelmed, but do something with it. Yeah, I like this for you. Nice. Very nice, group 1. All right, let's move on to group 2. Putting all of these back. Okay. Let's see what we got for group 2 here. Oh, timestamp. Glad I remembered. Okay. Okay. Getting fruits. Fruits? Like I'm literally getting like food. Okay. What is this about? Group 2, you're being, I feel like there's an encouragement or a call or a good feeling about working very closely with nature, like maybe like literally gardening, like growing your own food, that sort of deal. Like they're literally just showing me a bunch of different fruits. And then I heard nectar of the earth and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Group 2. Maybe you guys got some Taurus or Virgo going on in there, because I heard body wisdom, but then something in my body felt like just like, oh, that feels really good. Like feeding the body, honoring the body, making magic with the body. Yeah. It's very earthy. It's very earthy and it's very sensual. Some of you may be dancing a lot too, or wanting to dance, or just like moving your body. Yeah, it's like really loving on the body, listening to the body, giving the body what it needs, and again, working with the earth and like just, oh, it is very yummy. It's very juicy. It's very juicy. I like it. Feels very Taurus Virgo-y kind of deal. Okay. Oh wait, am I sticking with herbal astrology? Yes, okay. Group 2. Very mellow too, like very tranquil. Yeah, very mellow, very tranquil. If you're really like, oh, and like embodying this energy, people might just be very attracted to you right now and not really know why. It's like you're almost the epitome of an empress energy, or like fertility is also what I'm getting too. Like, yeah, yeah, very fertile, very fertile energy. But a lot going on with the body and with like food and nature specifically, which, yeah, I mean, that's all about fertility, right? Okay. Like if I were to paint a picture of your energy, I would put like literally a cornucopia with like every fruit I can fathom, like tropical fruits and I don't know, other fruits, all the fruits. Um, and you'd be there with some wine, be some music on in the background. Like it's very sensual. It's very sensatory too, which is why it's screaming Taurus to me. Group two, group two, group two. Whoa, okay. Oh, okay. Not what I expected, but still very nice. We have Lavender with Weaver, 20, breaking down to a 2, and Mercury. Lavender in this deck specifically speaks to that spider, co-creative, creatrix sort of energy, but lavender in and of itself is a vibration of calm, of tranquility, of peace, and of love, and of healing. It's very, very mellow, and that's what I'm getting with your energy. It's very mellow. Even though it's very sensual, it's very, very mellow. And so even in that, with this whole fertile, abundant energy that I'm getting with you, it also speaks to being able to utilize that fertile energy to create something more, right? Or to bring life to things is also what I'm gathering. Very nice. Oh, I just want to like live in this energy. It feels so good. All right, using the Fae. Any messages or insights for group 2? Citrine might be a good stone for you guys. I don't think you guys really need assistance, though, I gotta be honest. I'm also getting Unakite, actually. I'm getting Unakite. It's a good fertility stone. Oh. Those who are going to be resonating with this, even if you're not in this energy yet, I feel like what's helping you get in this energy is actually working through some sacral stuff. I just like the energy that just came out of me that felt like it was coming from my sacral, which would make sense, right? Because everything about your energy speaks to fertility, pleasure, creativity, life-giving energy. All of that is sacral related. Dancing, right? All of that is sacral related. Like you had a block there and you were working through it. Some of you, you're fine and you're just enjoying this, but yeah, felt that for some of those who are resonating with this group. Anything else for group 2? Carnelian would be great too. Yeah, I'm getting like lower body sort of vibes. I'm hearing support was the key. That's what just came through. Support was the key. Are other people supporting you in this? Or did you just, oh, thank you. You learned how to truly support yourself. Some of you, this is a whole like masculine, feminine polarity you've been working with. How to truly, in a healthy way, support yourself. So you could be in this like creative, fertile, yummy, ooey gooey energy. But some of you do have people that are supporting you in some way, shape, or form, or a person potentially who is supporting you in this energy. Some of you brought support in by getting in this energy. Oh, fairy godmother. I love this card. 25 breaking down to a 7. The fairy godmother's fun because she comes with gifts. She comes with little blessings, and you just never really quite know when she's gonna strike, but it's always very positive. Sometimes it comes with a switch though, like literally a switcheroo is what I want to say. How do I want to say, like, how else do I want to speak to that? Like moving into this energy may have required an offering or a sacrifice of some kind, or not engaging in something anymore, or not dealing with something anymore. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. A healthy relationship with indulgence, a healthy relationship with fertility, a healthy relationship with the nectar and fruits of life. Hold on a second. That makes so much sense. Some of you were battling overindulgence, addictive like energy, behavior, that sort of deal. I'm feeling that pretty strongly. And in your, I want to say, approach of integrity to deal with that, to be healthier with that, there's a gift. There's a reward for that. And it actually feels like you actually get more. Like, it's almost what it feels like. Like if you had an addiction of some kind and it like compromised your finances or it compromised your physical energy or whatever, or maybe it was just really harsh on your body, like now you're gifted with like tenfold the level of health or tenfold the level of like material abundance. Like that's how this is coming through. I like it. Really, really like it. Oh, fairy godmother. Can I get another card, please? Yeah, I can feel it. Something switched. Some of you, this could even be like a switch of a friendship. Like maybe someone left and someone came in, and that person who came in is supportive of you or is just healthier for you. You know, I'm also getting that too. It's like something left and something came in. That's what I'm getting. Something was dropped, something ended, and now here's the reward for that. Yeah, I'm hearing cause and effect. Oh, this is so sensual. It's like not even funny. The green woman coming out here with a 23 breaking down to a 5. The green woman is literally the card of earth magic. Literally earth magic, getting in touch with your primal like inner animal. Hold on, side note, thanks for inviting us to check the Divine Phoenix Rising Tarot. I love his energy. He's so powerful. Yeah, he's great. He's great. Yeah, I love that this is out here. That's just so in line with what I was already getting. Yeah, very sensual, very sacral, very in tune and one with nature and the earth, but it's very sensual and it's very playful. And I just keep getting, it's like, here comes the gifts and rewards or blessings for what you were willing to give up, for what you're willing to say no to after so many times of saying yes. Like that's what I'm getting. Very nice. Okay. Moving into the animal deck here, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Okay. Look who came out again, Firefly. For those who are using timestamps, Firefly came out for group 1, but now we have Butterfly with this. So Firefly, that's that inspired fireball, mana sort of energy that comes in, even if it's temporary. But what it's doing is it's actually helping the butterfly energy, is what I'm getting. It's like, it's almost like the Firefly energy is literally, that sounds cheesy, but the wind beneath the wings of the butterfly. Like it's helping the butterfly to fly, is what I'm getting with this. Oh, this is like so cool. Excuse me. Butterfly can be an energy of freedom, of beauty, of grace, of new beginnings. I keep hearing taking flight is what I'm getting with that. I'm getting taking flight, taking flight, taking flight, taking flight. Yeah, whatever you have relinquished, you got good things coming in to replace it tenfold. And it's uplifting you. It's uplifting you, and there's enjoyment, and there's just like a whole, like all this like body stuff that I was mentioning before. It feels really good. No complaints, man. Can I get one more? Yeah, and also what's really rooted in all of this is there is definitely something that has shifted with your sacral. Definitely. That's allowed this. That's helped this, enabled this. Can I get one more? Ooh. Oh my. Look what landed right in between Firefly and Butterfly. Octopus. As I'm saying, yeah, you work through something in your sacral, like some kind of block or something. Octopus is the devil card. So there has been something that has been making it difficult for you to take flight, for you to move into this place where you feel the benefit of what you have given up, right? That's totally what's going on here. Interesting. All right, let's get into the tarot and then we'll move into group 3. Yeah, octopus can be like codependency, addictions, like coping mechanisms, things like that. more. And I see the devil come out with the tarot cards. Yeah, look. Okay. Any other messages or insights for group 2? Man. All right. That devil octopus energy coming through here with the Five of Pentacles. Magician also came out for group 1 as well. But that Five of Pentacles energy comes with that devil octopus-like energy. It can be an energy of like scarcity mindset. It can be an energy of fear, of insecurity, feeling like you're at a loss, feeling like you've actually lost something materially, or even on the health front. But you are going to recover from that, because like that was one of the first things that came through with the fairy godmother. It's like you lost, or you were willing to give something up, and then boom, here comes the reward for that. Here comes the blessing from the sacrifice, right? That's also why Magician is here. That's also why Magician is here. Yeah, I keep getting like addiction, coping mechanism, fear or insecurity itself. I feel like there's been some sort of like disconnect or abuse of the body, and also creative energy in relation to the sacral. Like that's what I keep getting here. Okay. Oh my God, devil is still at the bottom. Anything else for group 2? Interesting. King of Swords coming through. Not what I would have expected. King of Swords is Aquarian energy. King of Swords is master of strategy, logic, communication. A lot of clarity comes with the King of Swords. It's very opposite of what I was feeling from you, and I'm almost inclined to wonder if it's actually someone else. Tell me why this King of Swords is here, because it literally is the opposite of what I was getting from you. It could also be the acknowledgement and discernment of what has been needing to be given up, sacrificed. Absolutely, it could be that, but I can feel it. There's something else there. Why is the King of Swords here? Ooh. Okay. Okay. So some of you, it is a person, but I can also see it acting as well as needing to have that clarity and discernment of what you do need to sacrifice, what you do need to give up, right? That is actually harmful to you or hindrance to you. We have the King of Pentacles here with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups can be illusion, overwhelm, fantasy. It's like, it's a very not clear sort of energy with which the King of Swords brings clarity to, but all around the material plane. King of Pentacles, all around that like fertile, abundant energy that I can feel you moving into, right? So like I said, there may be something that you do need to give up here and relinquish for the better health of you, for the better health of your body or your finances or your material plane, your material world, okay? And the clarity of the King of Swords will do that. But for some of you where you're dealing with the King of Swords, that is the confusion in and of itself. Like there's someone adding confusion where there doesn't need to be for you, right? Interesting. All right, let's move on to group 3. And that might be the last group for today. Okay? It's getting dark outside. Okay. Group 3, can I get a third group, please? Messages and insights for a third group. I don't even know how to even begin how to explain this energy. I don't even know what kind of crystal that is or stone that is. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. The crystal they were showing me was purple, but it was like, I've never seen an opaqueness like that with a crystal before. It's like a cloudy, murky purple. Sorry I'm late. I'll take this as a sign. I'm group 3. Hi, Nettie. Oh, thank you, timestamp. Thank you. Thank you so much. That would have been very sad. So starting again for group 3, immediately I was getting this like cloudy, purpley sort of stone. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm getting like very like stormy. This is like Sedna meets Hecate kind of vibes. Some of you could be working with certain deities that rule storms. Because literally they're showing me like a stormy, like lightning, thunder, rain, dark skies. But I'm definitely feeling Hecate. It's, and especially that purple stone, like it's got this feeling of like high priestess, high priest, high priestess, but working with elements. Almost like Dark Lady though. Like kind of yeah, kind of like Scorpio meets Pisces, Sedna meets Hecate. Like I hope I'm explaining this enough to where it like resonates for you guys. This is interesting. Yeah, I'm just getting very stormy like energy, maybe even a little bit of anger. I feel like group 3 is probably going to be a group that is really dealing with their own shadow. Or could be dealing with the shadow of others, because I feel like there's an anger, there's a frustration, maybe even a little bit of sacred rage, a feeling maybe even of like disrespect, but like really just needing to not forget your own power, but also not go on a power trip either in response. Yeah, this is feeling like shadow, ego, triggery sort of stuff. That's what this is feeling like. Could be you, or it could be someone you're dealing with, or someone that you know. It does. It feels like a power trip, a shadowy power trip, but it doesn't have to be. It also could be coming into the awareness of your own capability as well. But just even if really unpleasant things are getting you to that realization, you don't have to you don't have to embody it from an unpleasant place. How do I say that? Very interesting. I'm just gonna put stormy because I don't know what else to write for your group title here. Yeah, I'm just gonna do stormy. And on that note, I'm actually not gonna use the herbal astrology deck. I'm gonna use the Power of Elements deck here. And I get it. Sometimes, you know, we're gonna be human, and sometimes people can be upsetting, right? Sometimes people go out of your way to upset you. Some people really do that. Yeah, this is feeling like, okay, for anybody who's a Charmed fan, love Charmed. At the end of season 5, yeah, at the end of season 5, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you should totally watch it. I think it's on Peacock. Anyway, at the end of season 5, I don't want to ruin it. So I'm like, how do I speak on this? Let's just say there's a reference to gods, okay, at the end of season 5. And in this referencing, there is a godlike being like taking their rage out on the city. Like that's also like, that's just something that keeps coming up to like my purview. Yeah, which is, it's a power trip, but it's also like, I am so hurt and so triggered. I just want to take vengeance. let me display my power. It's like, it's very much like that. So interesting. Okay. I don't think many people are going to resonate with group 3, which is fine. Clearly needs to get out there for some reason. Any messages or insights for group 3? Realization. Feel your emotions as they arise. I'm surprised the forgiveness card isn't out here, because I think that actually be perfect a companion to this, with what I'm feeling here. Recognize your emotions when they come up and let them flow. Let them be what they want to be. But don't allow it to be an emotional eruption at the consequence of other people, at the detriment of other people. Can I get one more, please, for group 3? Yeah, I can feel it. It's like, it's feeling like you want to stick it to someone. Like that's how it's feeling. Like you want to display your power. Like somehow that's going to make it right, but it's not going to make it right. And again, this doesn't have to be you. It could be someone that you have an encounter with, right? Someone could be very power trippy that you have to deal with, and like you're like, oh shit, now I gotta navigate them trying to like cause a storm. Can I get one more, please? Find balance. Yeah. Seek balance between doing and being. So group 3, I feel like I am tuning into a group of the collective here who are struggling to emotionally honor themselves, okay? To emotionally regulate. And there's a lot of pressure that is being placed on the self. And then in turn, you do that to other people. That's what I'm getting here for group 3. You may have a very, I don't want to say judgmental, but I just got to be honest with what I get. So if this is triggering, it's going to be triggering. It just is what it is. But I just got to be honest with what comes through here. If you judge yourself or you criticize yourself, that you could be applying a pressure to yourself to like be a certain way or got disconnected for a second. Have a certain result or have a certain experience, a specific experience. But instead of just like being, instead of just like allowing yourself to just be who you are and where you're at and having that be okay, there's this pressure to not be that, is actually what I'm getting. There's a discomfort with that. There's an anger and frustration with that, but it's self-induced. It's self-induced, and you probably learn to do it to yourself. This is also speaks to societal things too, and societal programming. But that's what I'm getting here. Yeah. The anger you feel, the frustration you feel, the angst you feel is really just from not allowing yourself to just be you and be where you're at and have that be okay. And you could project that onto other people, especially if they poke at it unintentionally, or especially intentionally. But yeah, that's what I'm getting there. All right, let's get with the Fae. This totally feels like that, like Uranus, Pallas Athena kind of vibes of just, I want to destroy. Yeah, there's this feeling of like it's not fair. But who's doing that to you? Is anyone doing that to you, or are you doing that to you, right? And then because you think that's how things are, or that's the way, you just assume people are doing that to you. Yeah, I feel like there's some projections and illusions going on here. Any other messages or insights for group 3? Nellis the Alchemist. The Alchemist. This card comes out when change is afoot. Okay. She's got her little magic wand and she wants to change things. And I'm actually feeling like it's more like breaking things open. I keep feeling breaking with group 3, which again really speaks to that like Uranus, Pallas Athena energy I was speaking to in the astrology portion. But that's what I'm getting. She's coming in to break something. She's coming in so something can change, something can be different, an experience can be different. Some truth can also be seen, but she's a change agent. She basically is Uranus, just not aggressive. She's a little softer than that, but that's why she's here. Okay. Causing some sort of change or tower. I see you. Anything else for group 3? Whoa. Let's see. Oh. Ooh, interesting. Tome the Poet with the Bright Mother. Yeah, group 3, I feel like your emotions are being cracked open here. Good, change is good. Yeah, she's coming in to break something down, break something open, could even be breaking open your heart. Not in a really bad way, just like a heart opening. I feel like she's trying to like break that. She's trying to break the illusions. Oh my God, that's exactly what this is. So group 3, if you are resonating with this, or if like this starts to happen and you come back later, you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what Island Turtle WaterBaby said, Rodin said. She's breaking the illusion around the situation. She's breaking the illusion of the ego. She's breaking the illusion of beliefs. That's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. Because these two cards together are beautiful. Like, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful cards. The Bright Mother is a very Cancerian, nurturing, loving, like mama energy. And the Poet is exactly how it sounds. It's a very whimsical, like dreamy, intentional sort of energy as well. That like this kind of energy is possible for you. This is the kind of energy that is also possible between you and other people. And she's coming in to shatter the illusions that are keeping you from seeing that or even believing it. And these illusions that she's shattering, it feels like an egg like encased in like rock. She's like breaking open the rocks. You can see there's an egg inside of there. Like, you know what I mean? Like that there's an ooey gooey center in the middle of that chocolate. But the chocolate's bad chocolate. Like, you know, it's like that's what I'm getting with her. Wow. If you just let go of the illusions, if you let go of the pressure and the expectations, there's definitely some self-worth stuff and insecurities that are wrapped up in here too. I definitely want to make that very clear. If you allow her to do that and you surrender to it, and even with all this like anger and like trying to come up and out, all of anger is just pain. That's all it is. It's just pain and grief, right? So what kind of grief has fueled your illusions or fueled your beliefs that put you in that position to think about yourself in that way or to put pressure on yourself in that way, right? Because this is like, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Some of you, this is even like inspired writing too. Can I get one more card, please? Whoa, am I taking these? No. Okay. Uh-oh. Group 3, I'm not going to lie to you. This ain't going to be easy. Look at what came out with the Alchemist. We have friends. The friends card is very explicit. It's about you and other people. Friends. It's you and others. But it's an energy of support and collaboration and working with people. Like that's what that is. So group 3, you probably struggle or find it difficult to not do everything on your own, or to not like, how do I want to say, be like super hyper independent or let people in or be vulnerable with other people or trust other people, like that kind of thing. And this is what she's trying to get you to do and trying to get you to see that you can. Okay, let's get animals out here now. Some of you, this could be speaking to a very specific relationship, friendship, romance, otherwise, but one that actually can facilitate, I'm getting the word beauty, I'm getting like very Libra with that, can facilitate beauty and nourishment and support. It's available to you. I'd be shocked if you didn't know this person. So camel, I'm hearing resilience with the camel. Camel to me is very much a survival energy, but it's also practical. It's like very Virgo. It's planning for a long trip and making sure you got all your supplies and your food and your water, and you're going to get there just on time and on schedule. Like it's very much like that. But I'm hearing resilience. Resilience. You are resilient. There's no doubt. You probably have learned to be resilient. But the best resilience is when you have multiple people involved, right? When you don't have to carry the burden of everything, right? I mean, literally, right? Like even in the friends card, he's like carrying his friend. Like, yeah, understanding that you can actually trust in people to help carry your load, right? In healthy, appropriate ways, right? There are unhealthy ways of doing that, and there are healthy ways of doing that. What I miss. I'm actually towards the end. I'm like finishing up the third group here. Anything else for group 3? Oh, okay, thank you. They are confirming. Some of you, itchy, itchy, itchy. Some of you, it's also learning that. Some of you have a familiarity with unhealthy, burdensome relationships. Like I want to say like codependent relationships versus healthy interdependent relationships. And so if there is an interdependent relationship that can facilitate this really beautiful energy, you probably are very uncomfortable with it and you probably get very triggered by it. And then the more codependent relationships, which are power dynamics, by the way, you can't have a codependent relationship without it being people having power over the other or between each other. And having familiarity with that actually just sets you up to just stay in the cycle, right? And not actually have a very authentic, vulnerable experience with another person. But that's also coming through here that some of you need to recognize that. Ooh, spider with beaver. This is consistently building and cultivating, consistently building and cultivating, consistently building and cultivating. I keep getting, it's like spirit, the alchemist, is trying to get you to see that you can trust other people. You can work with other people. You can flow and collaborate with other people. They just got to be the right people, the healthy people, and you got to be healthy in your approach to it too. Yeah, very nice. Okay. Let's get some tarot cards out here and then we'll wrap this up. Oh, that was weird. I thought Clyde was like moving his tail, but he's dead asleep. Wonder what was touching me. Okay. Any other messages or insights for group 3? Am I taking these? No. Okay. Oh. Wake up call. Judgment. Judgment don't fuck around. Judgment is Pluto energy, fire energy. Clyde, oh yeah, he's back here. Can you see? I know he kind of blends in. Hold on. Hey, Bobby. Hey. Oh. He's, he's an old man now. He's very slow these days, very mellow these days. But anyway, judgment. Judgment, like I said, is fire. It's Pluto. It is very much a wake-up call. Sometimes judgment can come through as like just feeling a pull or a call on your soul. Sometimes it comes with a very karmic energy. Sometimes it's resurrecting something or putting something to bed once and for all, but it's usually with a bang. It's usually with a bang here. I keep feeling like it's a wake-up call, and I feel like it's that destructive energy too that the alchemist is coming with. Like, we're going to break the rock around this egg, this ooey gooey egg, because it has to. Because it has to. It does. It feels a little bit like facing judgment, actually, to be honest with you. For those who may be resonating with this, when the whole stormy storm energy comes through and how I was feeling it in the channeling, it may be very humbling. Okay. Something feels very humbling about this. Yeah, it feels like being confronted with your actions and being confronted with your illusions, actually. Yeah, being confronted with your illusions, your projections, your behavior. treat, like the way you've gone about certain situations or relationships, right? Like not being vulnerable or whatever, your relationship to self and really getting confronted with it. That's how that feels to me. Definitely putting trust to the test too. Wow. This is an energy that also has, oh my God, words, I'm sorry. Your accessibility to this energy, it's always been there, but having that like rocky shell has prevented you from really experiencing it or tuning into it, embodying it. But it's I keep getting it's like ooey gooey soft. It's ooey gooey soft. It's ooey gooey soft. And it might have been a very long time since you have experienced this that you have forgotten about it, let alone trusted it, right? There's a little bit of calling that up and out. Any other messages or insights for group 3? Some of you may be not asked, I think I stopped saying it that way. Some of you may be encouraged to heal a certain relationship, even if that's relationship to self. I'm getting like I'm getting hospital vibes, but I don't think it's like legitimately like a physical health thing. I think it's like, oh, we need to repair this now. We need to go in there and fix this now. Am I taking this? Yeah. As I said that, Knight of Cups, open heart. It's like energetic open heart surgery. This is like, it's kind of how this is coming through. Yeah, being confronted with your illusions, your projections, all the things that I was getting before, your own ego even, so you can actually like open your heart. So you can open your heart and be the Knight of Cups and move through the world, like following your heart, letting your heart lead the way. Being vulnerable, being ooey gooey. Not a doormat. Some of you may equate being ooey gooey with weakness, and that's part of the illusion. Also would explain any like pressure on the self, right? If you equate ooey gooiness and vulnerability with weakness. It's a strength. It's actually a strength. You may even know that, but you don't know that. So those who are new, there's a difference between knowing and knowing. Because knowing it here is like a full embodiment, emotionally, on a soul level. Here is like, yeah, 2 + 2 = 4. But can you feel how 2 + 2 = 4? You understand what I'm saying? Anyway. Taking this, yeah. Oh, yeah, 5 of Pentacles. Oh, like I said, some of you may be called to mend a certain relationship, or maybe many relationships, even if that's relationship to self. But I feel like there's this soothing aid that only the heart can provide. Only being in an open-hearted state can provide, soothing the wound of the 5 of Pentacles. This feels like a card of a wound for you. It could be a wound of abandonment, wound of scarcity, even like financial, material scarcity, a wound of feeling like an outsider, or I keep getting abandoned with that, or being alone, or being, what's the word? Banished? That feels like abandonment. So abandonment's just coming through in all these different forms here. But yeah, the only thing that's going to soothe that wound is actually having your heart opened up like that. Okay? Oh, group 3. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot for your reading. But we are complete. We are complete now. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Don't forget to check out Patreon and the website and all that stuff. Again, I will be live this Saturday probably to talk about the full moon Aquarius over on Patreon at 2 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, I think that's it. The sign readings are going to be posting throughout the week as they always do, but they are already on Patreon for my patrons, according to the tiers. And if you are curious what I offer over there, go ahead and check that out. They got me feeling like Kovu in The Lion King. I love that one. That's such a good one. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go. Blessings. Thank you, Island Drill. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out, showing up, hanging out with me, being supportive and all that good stuff. And I will see you later, okay? Bye, guys. Take care.